So it looks like the final verdict's in, and it looks like Caitlyn Clark will not be a part of this Unrivaled League. And all I can say is, whew, thank goodness, because I did not want to watch this at all. And if she was in it, I would have tuned in to watch. But for those who don't know, Unrivaled is this 3 versus 3 basketball league, women's basketball league. It's been founded by Brianna Stewart and Ephesian Collier, the second and third in MVP voting last year, behind the Asia Wilson, who was predetermined to be the unanimous MVP before the season was over. It's another story for another day. I've already talked about it. It's kind of embarrassing. So they created this product. They wanted to, give the women something to do in the off season, so they don't have to go overseas, which is a good thing. It was, this initial premise I was really happy about. They don't have to go to China, they don't have to go to Turkey, they don't have to go to, Israel. Some of these places, nothing against Israel. I mean, I'm for Israel, but nothing against some of these, very unstable places. You don't have to go to Russia and possibly end up in gulag like Brittany Griner. Um, but they got a lot of investment and a lot of attention along the way. The TNT Sports looks like they own a piece of it. They're going to air most of the games, which are going to take place in January and February of 2025 when football's going on, the football playoffs. Um, and during the NBA All Star Weekend, which has no steam right now, but supposedly they're going to try to revamp. They're going to try to get Caitlyn Clark there, so it'll be interested to see what goes on there. But they were trying very very hard to get Caitlyn Clark. It was originally announced that I think 30 people. They're going to have 30 players and have 10 3-people teams. They were able to expand that to 36. They've announced 34 of them and 2 wild cards, which you have to think if Caitlyn Clark was one of them, they would have announced it by now. And I'm sure she changes her mind and wants to join. Please don't, please don't, please don't. Um, that she would, that they would have one for her. But they got some pretty heavy hitters uh, invested in it. Like I said, Gino Oriama is in it, and he's had a lot of bad things to say about Caitlyn, so you have to wonder why she would want to be there. As far as players, they got Dejanay Carrington and Angel Reese. Maybe they can put those two on a team with Caitlyn, and they can learn how to play basketball at the same level she does, because neither of them play basketball at her level. One season, one first team All WNBA for Caitlyn Clark, and uh, Angel Reese got blown out of the water for the Rookie of the Year vote, even though a lot of the woke media really wanted her to get it instead of Caitlyn, but even they didn't have any choice at that point. Angel Reese, by the way, decided to sit out the end of Chicago's season, who very much had a playoff chance. I think they were in the playoffs at the time. Um, to focus on this league as well as her future, so she probably don't want to screw that up. Not that anybody be paying attention, luckily. But just all these antagonists. Well, I mean, of course, the whole league seems like they're antagonists of Caitlyn's, but they did get a few of her friends in there, like Kate Martin. She was on her Iowa teams. I know they're good friends. She's basically an into the bench player for the Las Vegas Aces. Um, Asia Wilson won't be in it either, but that won't have any bearing on the ratings. Asia Wilson does not drive ratings at all, and she doesn't drive merchandise. She's not the kind of person that women's basketball can become profitable off of. Actually, nobody is except for Caitlyn Clark, come to think of it. But they also got her friend Lexi Hull, and they got Aaliyah Boston, who I know that they have a really good friendship too. So when I started announcing them, I thought, man, they're really going for it. I don't know if they put them in there to try to lure Caitlyn Clark or to get those of us, like I said, that have formed emotional attachments to people like Lexi and Aaliyah, and try to get us, to watch them, even if Caitlyn doesn't show up, which is like she's not going to. Thank God, because like I said, I did not want to watch this. Like I said, despite having Aaliyah Boston, whom I've really, gained, is probably my second favorite player now in women's basketball, and Lexi Hull, who's probably my fourth or fifth favorite player, behind obviously Caitlyn, Aaliyah, Kelsey Mitchell, and her and Erica Wheeler seem to be a little bit tied right now, I guess, but hopefully they'll give Erica Wheeler a little more time next year. Um, so Yeah, it's gonna be a 3 versus 3 basketball league, which I don't want to watch any gender, men's, women's, or whatever the in betweens, or whatever any of the other 37 genders are, play 3-on-3 basketball. Um, there's these rumors that they offered Caitlyn this $1 million, which I mean some of her sponsors that actually use her properly. She can get that in a week. Um, when I say sponsors use her properly, I'm talking about basically everybody except for Nike. Gamebridge used her for the LPGA tour. They sponsored that. They know Caitlyn loves golf. It was a no-brainer, and sure enough, they actually did it right. And then the LPGA welcomed her with open arms, and it's been quite amazing. Nike is too afraid of making Asia mad, and all for fans and the people on social media, which luckily looks like there's a mass exodus on X, so a mass exodus, which is a good thing. Because I mean, a lot of the people that are going off of X are people who their opinions don't really mean anything. I'm not saying mine do, but these are people who's famous people who think their opinions mean something, and they really don't. So glad to see them gone. This league looks like it's dead on arrival, though. It's just the way it's put together. Everything about it seemed awkward, forced. I looked it up. It was actually announced last year. Its founding was announced, and so they've had quite some time to get this figured out. Like I say, got a big group of investors, kind of like a who's who to an extent, including Ashton Kutcher. Guess they're gonna get away for Diddy's parties to fill out a check. That was inappropriate. Sorry, but they're probably going to want to get his name off of there for a women's league, for a league that's about empowering women. And I mean, I hope it does well. I mean, I'm not going to be mad if it does well at all. I'll be happy that they're going to, hopefully, get this money and hopefully, have some success and, maybe drive up salaries in the WNBA. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't see it happening. I just think the whole premise of it and the fact that there's a lot of it's filled with people that people don't want to watch. People have a history of not wanting to watch, and now they're going to put it to the test. Though we're just not marketed properly. If only we got marketed well. Now you're doing your marketing. The people involved in the league have a financial stake in doing your marketing. There's no NBA standing on the outside with $10 million a year for your losses, your financial losses. So it's kind of put up or shut up time now, if you think about it. And if you're going to go to the bargaining table because they've opted out of their collective bargaining agreement, and if this league flops hard, they're not going to have any leverage. The WNBA folks on the office side, and maybe the NBA folks, whoever goes in there, they're going to be holding up these numbers if they're bad into their faces. And if it's good, then the players can hold that up to their faces and say, "Look, we can do this without you." Truth is, though, they need Caitlyn Clark, and without her, like I said, it was reported they offered her $1 million plus a Messi type deal. Lionel Messi came to MLS and got basically a lot of money plus a cut of like all revenue, all merchandising plus his own merchandising. But the problem is with this equity stake for Caitlyn Clark. I mean, what are they really offering her? What a value is she really getting offered? Doesn't look like a whole lot. So I don't know. Looks kind of dead on arrival. So looks like it's gonna be an unrivaled disaster. There's gonna be plenty of puns to make about that being called unrivaled, and not look like it's gonna do much. So, like I said, I mean, I hope it does. I don't have anything against except for Dejanay Carrington. She just went way too far. The thought of her profiting off of Caitlyn Clark's name and the fact she's going to probably get quite the salary increase either next year or the year after next because of Caitlyn Clark, that sucks. That really does. I hate to see that. A lot, because nobody's done more antagonizing of Caitlyn Clark on the court and off the court. That eye poke was definitely the most brutal of everything Caitlyn went through physically this year. And the things she said about her on social media are about the craziest. And little skit she did making fun of it afterwards. So I hate that. And, if this league does go down in flames, I'll be happy that she was a part of that. But, I mean, it's whether or not they get Caitlyn Clark. And even then, honestly, at this point, I mean, we're really going to watch, a few extra months of Caitlyn Clark getting bullied and spoken down to. Ain't that right, Loki? Hang on. Hey, Loki's going to talk for a second here. Take it away, Lokes. But, yeah, I don't see this league doing much. They had the way they even chose the teams. They didn't even do a traditional draft. They did like pods. They put all these players in a pods, and they had to like try to mix and match the best, most exciting combos of three. And the coaches were then randomly assigned a pod, which I'm sure was completely random. But I didn't watch it. I can't tell you how it went. So I don't know who's on whose team. Looks like the two wild card spots, and none are with either Kate Martin or Lexi or Aaliyah. So I don't know. Looks hard. It's gonna be a hard sell. It's gonna be a hard sell. I don't have any plans on watching any of it. Like I said, never didn't watch any WNBA games that Caitlyn wasn't in. So quite honestly, it's gonna be a hard sell even with her in it for being 3 versus 3 on a smaller court. They talk about the Messi like deal. They'd be like offering. I mean, no disrespect to them, they'd be like offering him, financial stake in an indoor soccer league. An indoor soccer league full of self-important people who think they're more important than they really are. A smaller playing field, less players on the field, basically a completely different sport than the one he's in a league that's not really making much money. So that's my take on that. To me, I know a lot of people are saying dead on arrival. I wouldn't be surprised. It might get some pretty good ratings the first week or two. People just seeing what the heck this is all about. But if it's still getting any ratings worth a flip in the weeks 3 and 4, I'll be shocked. Like I said, not rooting for its failure, but I don't see it doing anything. I really don't. So we'll see you there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.